Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Forex Forecast. I am FX Telepath and we will get right into the analysis here, looking at the COT report for the US dollar index. The past week the banks added 6,600 longs and they also added 7,600 shorts. Looking at a weekly chart here, top-down approach. In last week's forecast I talked about how, my overall target is somewhat down here, hitting like 97, 98 in that, general area, kind of down at these two demand zones down here. That is like my overall target, but that does not mean that price is always just going to shoot down. It's definitely very difficult to predict exactly what price is going to do. You just kind of have to look at the overall structure of the move and say, okay, the overall structure is down. Yes, there is demand here, but I think, since the demand has been tested basically 3 times and very deeply for the 4th time, I think we're going to continue to head down, but that doesn't mean we just want to short. We need to trade with caution. So now that we've had a pretty bullish green candle, some of you might be wondering, are we going to turn on the dollar? Is this, this huge move, the beginning of a huge move that we're going to see going up? I personally don't think so. If we go over to a 4-hour chart here, you can see that, we're just on a tear. First, actually, let's look at a 1-hour chart, because where do we turn around from? Well, if you look here on the 1-hour chart, we had this 1-hour demand zone located at 99.67, and we had a great move off of the zone like that. And if you notice, we barely just wicked into that zone. We just hit the zone, rallied away, hit this supply zone that I pointed out as well, and then pushed back down. We came in for a second test. Now this is a zone that I pointed out for the members, and as you can see, what a move from the zone. This is why it's important to understand where these key supply and demand zones are, so hey, maybe you're not bullish on the dollar and you don't want to be going long down here, but maybe it's best to actually wait for this zone to be removed. And if you were a member of mine, or if you understand supply and demand, you definitely wouldn't have got caught up short here and got destroyed by that move to the upside. So that is the zone I pointed out for the members. And if you want access to the video lessons so you can learn more about supply and demand and how to find zones like this one and this one to get moves like that, check out the video lessons A to Z, link in the description down below. So onto the daily chart, let's say if we keep going up and we continue the 1-hour trend, where I think we're headed to in the near future is 101.342 at this 4-hour area of supply. I definitely think we could see a move off of that 4-hour supply zone, but let's say we continue to actually move up even higher. Well, where I think we will probably turn around at most likely is at 101.95 at this daily area of supply. It's a very weird supply zone. We have arguably a better supply zone higher at 103.031, but I definitely see, yes, the dollar could just turn around randomly like this, but it is more likely to turn around at supply. So I think once we start to get up to like 101.8, I think we'll start to see more weakness in the DXY. So that's what I'm looking for here in the dollar, looking to see that continuation move to the downside. And you know what? Hey, if price goes like this and we break to the upside, that's fine with me. I still think trading with the overall trend of the downside is going to be much more favorable, and I'd be more than happy to, I don't want to take a loss, but I'd be more than happy to rather stack the odds in my favor and trade with the downtrend here in the dollar than try to catch these smaller moves that, yes, we get these smaller moves to the upside like that, but the bigger moves, the faster moves are always going to be to the downside when we have that overall downtrend. All right, onto the forecast for the euro US dollar. The past week, the banks added 40,163 longs, and they also added 1,493 shorts. I'll keep this one pretty simple since it is essentially just the inverse of the DXY. Looking at the daily chart here, very consistent and clean daily uptrend on the euro. So in my opinion, we most likely want to be favoring longs, but as you can see here, we are starting to pull back. And the big question is, when are we going to turn around? And in my opinion, I personally am just waiting for this daily demand to be hit. I really see no other reason to be trading the euro long. We'll get into shorts in a second, but I do think we could be pulling back to this daily demand zone and then rallying from here, as long as it doesn't take too long. Like if we just kind of do this and then do that and then we pull back to it below the trend line, that's a different story. I'm not going to get into that too much, because some of the members will definitely give me a hard time about that, but we're basically looking for the pullback sooner than later, basically here on the euro, where then we could look for swing trade longs. And I actually got a comment on my video last week saying, I hate that there's no direction in your videos. Look, I usually have an overall direction. That's the thing. I have a direction for swing trading. So for swing trading, looking at this daily chart from June all the way to essentially almost the end of July here, the swing trading time frame momentum is and trend is clearly to the upside. So the moves are to the upside here on the euro. But what people don't understand, the people that are commenting rude things, they don't understand that the swing trading time frames are showing uptrend and longs, but the day trading time frames right now that we can see are actually showing shorts. Now it's still higher odds to be going in long on day trading time frames just based on the overall trend, but part of my forecast and what I try to do for you guys is to not only show you guys swing trading setups at higher time frame areas of demand where we can look for swing trading setups, but also so that you guys can potentially catch these little moves on day trading time frames. So how would we go about that? Catching a potential swing trading short. Well, if you look at a 1 hour chart, clearly looking at this 1 hour chart, the momentum is to the downside. So clearly you can see on a swing trading perspective on a 5 minute, 1 minute, or 50-minute entry time frame, you could argue shorts could be the best thing here. So how would you go about trading that short? Well, I'll keep it real simple. We have supply at about 1.17.5 right here on the 1 hour chart. We actually have better supply up here at 1.20 right here. So if you want to swing trade, if you want a day trade short, I really would just wait for any one of these 1 hour supply zones to be hit, and then you could look for a 5 minute, 1 minute confirmation trade to the downside, to the short side, and that's how you could get your day trade to the short side to catch that pullback down to daily demand, and then you could look to take profits as we approach this daily demand. So trying to clarify with some of the commenters that, hey, look, swing trading setups, they take a long time to play out, and I don't want to just make this all about a swing trading channel, right? I want to make sure that I'm helping swing traders out by pointing out these significant zones on swing trading timeframes, and also saying, hey, we can day trade down to that swing trading time frame zone, and it actually makes sense as long as we have a lower time frame trend. In this instance, it's a great example. So just wanted to clear that up because I have gotten a few comments like that of like, just show the actual direction. Well, I am. Sometimes it's going to be multiple directions if I'm seeing both a day trading and a swing trading setup. So as far as the euro goes for day trading, we want to be looking for potential shorts down to daily demand at 1.10, and then from there we could look for a swing trade long or even day trade longs in there as well. All right, onto the forecast for gold. The past week, the banks added 23,194 longs, and they also got rid of 4,400 shorts. Really quick, just wanted to point out another confirmation trade. I pointed out this 1 hour demand zone for the diamond members in the daily market breakdown. As you can see, pretty nice move. The zone overall is very, very large, so that's why confirmation was much, much better. And if we go down to a 5 minute chart, we can actually see the 5 minute confirmation trade in action. So you can see down here we had a zone formed. Let me just do this, confirmation zone. And this zone was a little large as well, but it actually ended up working great. So that zone at the extreme right here, your entry would have been exactly right here. And that's how you take a very large zone like this and refine it, almost, obviously way smaller than the overall, overall zone. So that is another example of a confirmation trade. Just wanted to point it out to you guys if some of you guys aren't fully understanding what confirmation is. Now onto gold on the higher time frames. So looking at the daily chart, we are inside of my daily demand zone right now. Now look, it's not a great zone. I do love the move away, this big green candle, but I don't like how quickly we came back into the zone. I would have much preferred maybe another green candle up here, and then I pull back. But hey, we are in daily demand at 1960. We want to be looking for longs, although I think it is possible we pull back down to this area down here and rally from there. Just want to make that clear that, hey, confirmation will definitely be needed inside of this daily area demand. So what are we going to look for now? Well, I'll keep it real simple with you guys. I am basically just looking for this supply zone to be removed at 1968. So if we get that supply zone like this removed, that's gonna, if we have a 1 hour demand zone here, that is going to be your confirmation trade, just like I showed you guys on the 5 minute chart inside of that 1 hour zone. All right, onto the forecast for the USDJPY. The past week, the banks got rid of 27,000 longs and they got rid of 62 shorts. So very aggressive pullback into daily supply at 141.310 right here. Now, we definitely could see a move off of that zone. I'm not 100% sure what's going to take place here. The USD yen is very, very confusing right now. There's really no trend. Like, there's no trend on the weekly chart. I still am thinking we will go up to 146.6 at that weekly supply zone. That's just like my gut feeling. And remember, guys, there's really no evidence to support that that's going to happen other than my gut. So definitely take that with a grain of salt. And the reason part of the reason I'm thinking that is because the overall momentum is up. So it's not just random guess. It is somewhat of an educated guess based on the overall momentum. But obviously, yes, we've seen that pullback. So I think for longs, at least for swing trading longs, the safest thing to do would either be to wait for this daily supply to be removed and then wait for a pullback to get in long, just to kind of prove that, hey, this supply isn't going to actually push price down. Or we wait for this fresh demand down below at 136.68 to be hit to look for longs as well. And I actually like the zone a little bit more down here now. Based on this right here, kind of proves that there's demand, kind of a trap setup as well. So this is still a fantastic area to look for longs at 136.68. That's going to be looking for swing trading longs, or we just need to wait for that daily supply to be removed for potential longs as well. Now, for day trading, look, I know that all you guys like to day trade. That's completely fine. I'm not seeing any reason to be day trading short right now, I'll tell you that. Usually when you're a day trader, 1 minute, 5 minute, 50-minute chart, your overall trend is going to be, you're going to be looking at the 1 hour chart. And right now we are just on an absolute tear, kind of flagging out right here. So it'll be interesting to see, we're going to break up to the upside or back down to the downside. But if you are a day trader, I think looking for longs on 1 minute, 5 minute, 50-minute charts are completely fine right now. But remember, we are in that daily supply, so we definitely could expect to see a move down. So if we do push down to 140.3007, this would really be the only area I would look for day trading longs on 1 minute, 5 minute charts, right here at 140.30 on the 1 hour chart. Forecast for the British pound GBPUSD. The past week, the banks added 23,602 longs, and they also added 17,936 shorts. First, we'll do a top-down perspective. The pound is a very, very confusing one right now. We have a weekly supply zone in control, but this weekly supply zone was very, very tested so deep. I'm actually kind of surprised to see that move down. I'm not going to lie. Now, what do I think the next candle in the weekly chart is going to look like? It could be an indecision candle for sure. But what I'm thinking is going to happen here, if you go down to some lower time frames, I know the daily chart's not a super low time frame, I get it. But at 1.28, we have a daily demand zone right here. And if we are going to continue the uptrend on the daily chart that you see, in my opinion, it's going to be from this demand zone. There's really no question about that. If we're going to continue the uptrend, it's 100% going to be from this demand zone. Not 100%. Yeah, we could kind of pierce low, but I mean, where else would we really turn around from? This demand zone down here, pretty much tested. Really nothing in here that's quality. It's really going to be from this zone here. So we want to be looking for longs in this zone. And look, I know some of you might be saying, oh no, it's shorts all the way. But look at this overall trend. I don't want to be shorting that. I don't want to be shorting that until we can get something like this to take place. And then maybe I'd look to short up there. But until that, I think we need to continue to look for longs here in the pound. And what are we going to do for longs? Well, first, if you guys look, we had a pretty clean downward trend line. It was connected right here like this. We broke the downward trend line like this, and I actually pointed out this 1 hour supply for the diamond members, and I said, hey, we want to wait for this supply to be removed before we just get in long. And if you look, wow, what a move from this zone. Wasn't recommending to trade from this zone short, but more of I need to see this zone removed and look at how proven that supply was. So look, if we push up and break that supply, that'd be a fantastic confirmation long entry like this on the GBPUSD. So that's what I'm waiting for on the 1 hour chart on the pound. Gonna keep it real simple. There is some sort of demand down here. The problem with it though is I'm not a huge fan of the move away. Don't like that 50% candle move away. So I'll keep it on my charts for the members, but really not loving it. I really would like to see something like this take place where we remove that 1 hour supply, especially since we've seen it proven, to be supply. And a reminder, if you guys want to join the membership, here are all the membership options if you want my daily chart analysis. So for example, let's say we do get this confirmation trade on the GBPUSD. Well guys, I only do a weekly Forex forecast once a week on Friday. So this move could take place during the week where we got 1 hour confirmation and the trade was right here and boom, to the upside like that. And that is what you will get in my daily chart analysis in every single membership. So if you want access to my chart link with all of these zones on them and trend lines and trends and all that stuff, including the daily market breakdown, video lessons, all that good stuff. Check it out. Join the Diamond membership, or you can also join any other membership. We have Sunday Livestream forecast as well, and much more included. Check it out. We'd be happy to see serious traders who want to improve join the membership. On to the USDCAD forecast. The past week, the banks added 2,728 longs, and they also got rid of 1,195 shorts. Kind of a recap from last week. I was talking about how I was bullish on the USDCAD and that we could potentially be pushing up from this weekly demand zone. And we actually had a pretty decent trading setup here. If you look on a 4-hour chart, not only, well, we broke supply and we actually got a 4-hour confirmation zone down here. So this itself was a trade. I actually pointed out this zone for the Diamond members in the daily market breakdown as well. But if you look, we got a nice reaction off of this 4-hour demand zone to the upside. But not only did we get the reaction on the 4-hour chart, if you look, we actually got a 15-minute confirmation trade off this zone as well. So this is just another example of taking double confirmation to refine your entry. So if you look here, we had one demand zone and two demand zones right here on the 50-minute chart. Now, like I said, I pointed out these demand zones for the members in the daily market breakdown, and look at the result from these zones. We got, looks to me like basically a 5-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1 trade so far off of that 50-minute demand zone. So just again, wanted to point out what confirmation trading looks like, where we are essentially taking this larger zone and refining it to lower zones and taking those huge risk reward trades. That is what we are doing over here at FX Telepath in the membership. I don't want to keep bringing that up. I do apologize. I know a lot of people don't want to hear about it, but again, just excited to see the confirmation zones working so great on the USDCAD, especially since we've been talking about this weekly demand zone for so long now. But if you look at a daily chart, we're really not out of the woods yet. I would say that 4-hour trade was definitely aggressive on the USDCAD for sure, because if you look at a daily chart, which is one time frame higher than the 4-hour, based on how we do things here, we have a daily supply zone and the downward trend line still holding. So, you know, the ultimate confirmation would be this, and we have daily demand down here. That is what I'd be looking for a trade in that daily demand like this, where it'd be daily confirmation. That would be fantastic. But in the meantime, guys, the trade's kind of already taken place. Unfortunately, I couldn't point it out for you guys here on YouTube. That's why I have the daily market breakdown videos, so you guys can get them throughout the week. But as far as the USDCAD goes now for trading, I don't see any reason to be getting in long on day trading timeframes as we approach the high on the 4-hour chart. So for now, I think we just need to be patient and wait for new 4-hour or 1-hour zones to be formed, or like I said, wait for that daily confirmation so we can get a new trade to the long side. All right, onto the Aussie US dollar. The past week, the banks, they got rid of 5,400 longs, and they also got rid of 92 shorts. Remember, we are coming off of monthly and weekly demand here on the Aussie US dollar. Go back to the start of the year. I've been pointing out this demand zone for so long now. What a move off this zone. I am still bullish, looking for potential longs. And if you look on a daily chart, we have two zones right here. I much prefer the one lower at 0.65 in the daily chart, but there is demand at 0.669 right here where we could see a move off of that zone. So to be very clear, yes, you could continue to day trade short down to this daily demand at 0.669, but I would definitely be looking to take profits as we contact that daily area of demand. And then from there, we can switch to a long bias coming off of daily demand. Whether you're on day trading timeframes or swing trading timeframes, this would be a great area to look for potential long trades coming off the daily demand on the Aussie US dollar. Now, if you are super bearish and you really want to trade short down to the daily demand, that's fine. If we do get a pullback up to 1-hour supply at 0.677, we could definitely see a move off of that zone. So you could look for that little confirmation trade coming off of that 1-hour supply at 0.677. All right, onto the USD Swiss franc. The past week, the banks added 1,659 longs, and they also got rid of 645 shorts. Now, green weekly candle here, not super bullish, not as bullish as the DXY, but I do think, long term, we could push up to here to this weekly supply and then rally down with the overall downtrend. I just wanted to point that out for the long term. Don't kill me in the comments, guys. I know that that's super long term. Not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying a long-term approach, because I know a lot of you guys won't come back and watch the video, which I think you should, but always like to point out those long-term expectations that I have so that you guys can remember those, hopefully, and it might help you out. So don't berate me in the comments, just wanted to point that out. But as far as day trading goes, look, if you think we are going to pull up to that weekly supply or daily supply, and you think the US dollar is going to continue its strength, well, really what I'm seeing, we have 1 hour demand down here at 0.86325. We could see a move off of that zone. Even better, we actually have 4 hour demand right here at 0.858. We could definitely see a move off of that zone if you think we're going to continue to push up, or if we break the zone here, that would be kind of confirmation as well, and you could look for longs as well. But with the overall trend being to the downside, I think favoring shorts is the best option. The problem with it is that there's really no great zones to be shorting. So if we break this 1 hour demand like this and we have new 1 hour supply, I will have that for on my chart link for the members, and we can potentially get a trade off of that 1 hour supply zone like that. So that's what I'd be looking for shorts. And then like I said, for longs, we'd be waiting for that 4 hour demand down here at 0.858. But I think longs are definitely a little aggressive, especially considering the daily downward trend and the weekly downward trend as well. So longs are really only to be taken on day trading timeframes, and profits should be looked to be taken as early as possible. Last but not least, guys, we're on to crude oil. The past week, the banks added 20,000 longs, and they also got rid of 12,622 shorts. Real sweet and simple here on oil. I pointed out this daily demand zone here for the diamond members, and I said I'm going to be looking for longs in this daily demand, and look at the move that we've had up. We are basically at the high right now, so we do not want to be getting in long just yet on crude oil. Now, very, very, very unfortunate for me. I am still not too happy about it, but if you look here, not where I'm drawing, but if you look here, I had this zone right here, and I drew it even bigger than I wanted to. And I had my order, couldn't quite get filled. 5-to-1 TP would have been hit up here pretty much. So that's a huge bummer. But hey, if we do get a larger pullback down to this purple zone at 73.48, I am still somewhat interested in this area. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see what happens in the meantime. A little bit would make me a little bit nervous, but guys, I'll be honest with you. The trade's already taken place here in oil. Unfortunately, we couldn't get filled, myself or anybody in the team, I don't think. So that's pretty unfortunate. So the trade's kind of already taken place here in oil, but look, I'm still bullish overall. If you guys know, I've been very, very bullish on oil for so long now. We're finally kind of getting that new daily confirmation by breaking out of this overall kind of downward trend line here. So it's definitely exciting to see a daily demand zone work. I'm kind of hoping we pull back one more time so I can get that long trade on oil, but doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I'm still bullish on oil. With the, like right now, we also have a 4 hour, 1 hour uptrend. So look, longs on day trading timeframes are okay, but it's really would make me nervous getting a long rate at the high like this. So waiting for pullbacks could be the best idea. However you like to trade, I think longs on day trading timeframes are fine. But remember, if we start to break this 4 hour trend and the 1 hour trend, which is possible, hold off on the longs, because I think we could actually see a deeper pullback down to 72 or something like that. So as long as we have 4 hour and 1 hour uptrends, it's day trading longs all the way, guys. But remember, be careful. We are at the high, so we could see some, price manipulation and spikes. So maybe waiting for pullbacks could be the best bet. I hope you guys found this weekly Forex forecast helpful. If it did, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe if you are new to the channel. And as always, check out the YouTube and Patreon membership if you want to get my daily chart analysis and much, much more.